right, so PPF is on the bike. It's kind of hard to see because it's satin. But I'm gonna Tarex this here real quick just to get all the sticker residue off. And what we're gonna do is put a coat of CSL on today, and I'll come back tomorrow and finish the video and put a coat of 2 coats of EXO on it. And the bike will be ready to ride. So, believe it or not, I actually did most of the PPF myself. So I just finished it up here today. I spent a few hours on it. I figured out that using some heat really aided in getting it to stick quicker. A little Tarex there. Do a little Tarex on my rear shock. Since I debadged this whole thing. And then we're gonna wipe it down with eraser. And then start to coat it. So tons and tons of little PPF pieces. They don't provide anything for the fork, which kind of stinks. I guess because you're probably supposed to leave the Fox stickers that come on it for protection, but I pulled them off because I'm me. And that's just what I do. Make things more difficult. And let's wipe it down. Just want to get all the soap residue off so I get a good bond with the coating. This satin looks pretty sweet. I ordered a Envy seat post, so the dropper post will be coming off here shortly. Should be here tomorrow, so I'll be ready to ride in a day or two. And so I'll get rid of one of these cables. Everybody's yelling at me that brake lines are too long, so we'll see. I mean, they're kind of, yeah, I guess they are probably a little long. But we can always fix that. We'll probably lose a pound from the dropper post. Lose a decent amount of weight. I'm not going to coat the shocks. It wouldn't stick to them anyway. That Kashimi coating is not going to allow anything to stick. And somebody was right. This thing does rotate. I was like, I don't think mine rotates. Well, it does. So I'm going to coat all of this, and then we'll put the wheels on and coat those tomorrow. You need to make sure when you're coating that you use nitro gloves. If you use just regular EPDM rubber, it'll eat right through them. Cut this with some very unnecessarily stout scissors. A little bit of CSL, mix it up. Ooh. Prep it. And then go to town. So let's see, where should I start? Let's start here. So this will make cleanup of the bike a lot easier. And then hopefully protect it. When you buy a bike that's this expensive, as a hobbyist, I get if you're like a cycling, if you're on like a different level cycling than I am, and you get these kind of bikes all the time, I get how you might get angry at me for taking this much time preparing it, but for me, I plan on having this for a while. Now my definition of a while is different than most, but I plan on keeping this thing for a while, so I like to keep it nice. Plus it's fun. Get to make some videos. So CSL is pretty much a wipe on, wipe off. By the time I get this all covered here, it's ready to take off. Get this thing here. Coat the whole fork. Once I finish coating this part, then I'll wipe off the excess. Since this is matte, it's pretty easy to see. Shoot, while I'm at it, I might as well coat the cables too. What I like about these most is that I can grab them right off the shelf and they won't lint. And then just wipe it flat. So if you're a bike guy and you're watching this video, I'm just leveling the coating. So you'd probably have a hard time wiping it all off anyway, but you don't want to buff it. You just want to wipe any high spots. So anything that looks shiny, you're wiping, and by doing that, you're leveling it. This bike is never going to look this good again. I'm fully aware of that. And I'm coating right over top of the satin PPF. So, if you bought a bottle of this just to do a bike, you can have a lot of extra. I mean, we use like 1/15 of a bottle. So you could use just leftover from your car and coat your bike. But this will add a layer of protection, help it bead water better, help dirt stick to it a little bit less, help protect the paint protection film that's on here. Seems like a win-win across the board. It's kind of hard to tell high spots because the frame is dry carbon or your bare carbon, so it's kind of hard to see where you have high spots and not. Let's coat a fancy shifter too, so you can see it change color. The nice thing about most coatings is it won't make your, so since this is satin, it's not going to make it shiny. So don't be afraid of that. It may add a little depth, but like let's say you had satin wheels, it's not going to make it shiny. Just make it look deeper and richer. I'm going to put my water bottle cage back on after I do the EXO. So we're going to do one coat of this. So this product will not layer on itself. And then you're going to put 2 coats of EXO. And you can put it on the paint, plastic, rubber, brake lines, anything. Just being mindful, I don't want to lift any edges. So I don't want to beat the crap out of my paint protection film. This is going to be great. This bike is going to be legit. Now I'm going to have to actually ride it. I'm going to have to get as legit as my bike, which I don't think is going to happen. I'm sure I'll get the same comments that I get on cars, that you'll never reach the full potential. So yeah, and I always like to have my gear be better than me. The spice of life. Let's do the chainstay, seat tube. I know all about the parts now after trying to figure out. I didn't know this was called a seat tube. After trying to figure out what everything needed to be for the PPF. Now I know what all these parts are called. And what's so great about this coating, like I don't have to freak out about rushing it or getting a stopwatch out, trying to figure out when I'm supposed to remove it. It's really not complicated. It's a really simple, easy application. Notice I don't have any lights out or anything crazy. It's pretty easy to level and wipe off excess. And that's nice compared to some of them are, especially in the old days, some of them are so darn finicky that it was really hard to do properly. Okay, so I'm gonna let this cure overnight. I'll come back to you tomorrow morning and we'll do another coat of EXO. Put the bike back together, and then you'll never see me riding it because I don't want you to know how bad I am at riding bicycles. I'm really not that bad, I just get scared. Get scared easily. So I'll see you in the morning. All right, day 2 means EXO. EXO is a top coat for the, whatever you want to call it, glass, ceramic, coating, whatever you want to call it. I just call it a coating. I'll probably title the video ceramic coating just for the people, but I don't know that I like to call it that. So this I generally put on 10-12 hours after I put on the Crystal Serum Light. So the Crystal Serum Light is the actual coating, and then this is a top coat for that coating. Still, I believe, silicon dioxide based, and I put 2 coats of this on. I'm going to hit all the little cracks and crevices, but if you're going to put it on all the areas, you need to make sure you level it. So this stuff is quite a bit, how do I say it? I don't know that it's thicker, but there's more liquid, if you will. But the combination of these two are magical. I doubt on this bike I'll ever need to do any of this again. Hopefully not, because the difficulty to remove this will be significant. Because this would not be easy to polish. The only way to get this off would be to polish the bike. And so I'm quickly running through installation of this. There's an extra sticker. Shoot. Well, I'll wipe that off, get the sticker off. I guess I'll have to recoat that area. So I generally wipe it on, and then by the time I get done with a section, then I start wiping it off. And I'm leveling it. I'm not wiping it off per se. I don't think I hit the inside of the brake very well. And so I know what you're thinking, just ride the thing already. But remember, this work that I'm doing will make less work, keep the bike nicer for longer, and require me to do less in the future. So I do the work up front, so I don't have to do as much work on the back end, you know, as I'm caring for it regularly. And I'm doing my regular maintenance. That's a whole nother thing I'm gonna work on, is becoming proficient in doing bike maintenance rather than having to drop it off somewhere. So I'm going to get all the proper tools and likely work on becoming proficient at bike maintenance. On this matte black, you can very clearly see any spots that are shiny, which would in essence be a high spot, which you need to wipe off or wipe flat. Once this hits the surface, it's bonding, and then it just needs some time to cure. And so I'm not wiping all of the product off, I'm just wiping the excess off when I'm doing this. Gotta get this sticker off. I can de-sticker the whole thing. It's funny, I'm taking all the stickers off, but yet adding a bunch of stickers with the PPF. I don't know how long the PPF is gonna last with me, but we'll see. Let's see if I can get in here and show you the difference between coated and not coated. Let's pretend I did this on purpose. See the slight difference there in shade of how the coating looks. I'll take a little bit of Tarex. Some of that was the sticker, but you can still see color difference. I'm not going to worry about coating this one with all 3 layers, but the coating will make that look the same. And this will just make it easier to maintain and easier to wash in the future. I mean, this is a very, very expensive bike, so why not take the care? You know, and yeah, I haven't ridden it yet, but I've got the rest of my life to ride it, so I'm not in any rush. Plus, and as you might imagine, I enjoy this whole process of maintenance and care, probably more than I enjoy riding it. Certainly as uncomfortable as I am on the bike. Okay, I gotta go get on a call here with the attorney, and then I'll come back and finish this thing, put it back together. I'm also going to put the Garmin on it, so we'll do that in this video. I don't know, that Garmin is tricky. It shows this amazing color, and you turn the thing on, it looks terrible. The Garmin 1030. So all I'm going to do is coat this back section here. Then I'll let this cure. Put a second coat on. I'll probably let it sit for like an hour or 2. Then we'll finish up with a second coat. So the key to this thing, doing this coating, is to not just do superficial stuff. You want to do all of the stuff that is going to get dirty. So make sure you keep, or put in the effort to go and get all the underside, the in-between stuff, because that's the part that really needs to be coated more than just the superficial surfaces. And then I'll do the second coat off camera and then come back and finish the wheels. I'm gonna coat the wheel barrels, I think. We'll see once we get them back on the bike. Kind of see what it looks like. It's funny, you know, you have that one friend who's like a meal prepper, like when you're at a restaurant. I'm done eating by the time that dude gets his crap all together, and, you know, dressing and napkin all tucked in and all that crap. Well, that's kind of the way I am with a bike, and it drives people crazy with bikes and cars. I like to prep them. So I get why people are yelling at me to just ride the stupid thing. But I like the prep. I like this part. This is fun to me. This is better than riding the darn thing, which I know makes people even more angry. So, there we go. So I'll come back to you when it's time to put the wheels on. I'll also put on the Garmin as well. And then someday I might ride this thing. Ride fast. I'm gonna. You can't call it mountain biking, it's just trail riding. And okay. All right, I'll come back to you in a few. All right, second coat is done. Let's
put the bike back together. Oh, we got to denib these suckers. This will send you off the deep end for sure. Actually, yeah, there's nibs on these tires, look. Yep. So let's put this on. I wonder if I should coat them off the bike. I think it'll be easier to coat it on the bike. I'm sad we can't really put Carpo Pearl on this. So I'm not going to dress the tires. That won't go so well. First thing we got to do is clean them up. So let's bring this up here. I guess to balance it, let's put the rear on. This is the part where my mind explodes as I try to figure out how to get the chain back on properly. It's interesting that this bike doesn't have a quick release on the rear. I guess they assume that you're going to have a bike thing. It's so cool. Okay, we're back together. Now, let's get our wheels cleaned up with some eraser. I don't think there's any stickers or anything on this. You're darn right I'm coating these wheels as much as these things cost. This upgrade was pretty expensive. I don't remember what it was, but these are DT Swiss. They are XC1200s, I think. Okay, it's nice and clean. Let's denib it. This'll, all you bike guys, this will change your life. This is what you need to do. Take the nibs off. Just need to get the Park Tool torque wrench, so I'm not over tightening things on this carbon frame. Like, dude, you're avoiding the warranty on the tires. Someone in the Facebook group was talking about warranties on their tires. I mean, I guess you can buy that separately. I've never done that before in my life. I mean, I'm 20 plus years into driving. I don't think I've ever had a tire like that I needed a warranty on.
I think that's something you get from like the shop.
Yeah.
Not the manufacturer, like
Road hazard bull crap.
tire choice or whatever they do. Yeah.
Yeah, but what is it supposed to do for you? I guess if you hit a pothole and blow out your tire, you get a new one, but I've never had that happen before. Maybe I should keep my mouth shut so it doesn't happen. All right, let's get this one cleaned up. And then we're gonna coat it with some CSL and EXO, and because I'm lazy, I'm just gonna put it on and go. And I'm gonna get out and ride this thing this weekend. I have Ryan and Michelle convinced we're gonna be doing some adventure racing. I'm gonna sign up for that today. So the recommended procedure for CSL is to let it cure for 12 hours. I know some guys do it right away, or they top it with EXO immediately. Now you don't need to do EXO, but I find that the combination of the two is pretty magical. Good. Bryce talked me into doing the hub. He guilted me into it. Said, what are you, some kind of amateur biker? You not know how to bike. You don't even know how to put the rear wheel on right. So I wonder what the ratio of riding to cleaning will be. What do you think? 5 to 1, 8 to 1? According to videos, it's 100 to 1. I don't drive my cars or ride my bikes. It's really hard for some people to extrapolate out that I don't video every second of my life. I'm only videoing a little bit, maybe on average, maybe like an hour a day, if that. All I eat are zebra cakes every meal, I never drive my cars, and I definitely am never going to ride this bike. And I should stick to detailing because every guy in their garage is a master mechanic, except for me. So I should stick to it. People watch too many YouTube videos of young guys that edit out the beauty and how easy things are. Because they did all three corners of the suspension and then videoed the last one on a car that they've already done twice before. The Corvette, man, that Corvette thing, I'm gonna have to just not make any comments. Just not even follow up on them. Because everybody who owns a Corvette is an expert. Yet they've never done any of the stuff that I'm doing, but they know that I'm doing it wrong. It's like, okay, bro, come on. If I did drop spindles again, it would take me probably 3 hours. Instead, it took me 5 or 6 because I'd never done it before. I didn't know how to do it. I had to figure it out on the fly. And so now, anybody else is going to do it can watch my video and know what not to do. I think that's pretty valuable. I wish somebody had done that for me. This usually happens on these major projects where I'm about over it. I'm addicted to the result. I love getting things done. But when you're hours and hours in, it's like, all right, I want to be done with this. Life would be a lot easier if I wasn't this way. Just buy a bike for $2,500, which means I wouldn't have to work as much or work as hard or try as hard in life. Instead of buying an expensive bike like this, and then just ride it. Don't worry about all this business of worrying about correcting it, protecting it. Life would be a lot simpler. But I wouldn't want it any other way. I like the whisper coating. A whisper makes it. I mouth breathe and then whisper. I just snorted there. I just snorted there. I just thought, do you think if we put like a little muff on there that I might not have so much breathies in the videos? You probably don't even hear it anymore.
I don't know. I think it's become second nature to me. Like, I think I'm breathing at that point.
I can't help it, man. I just breathe. That's how I mouth breathe. That's how I'd roll. And when I talk too much, I have to suck it in, suck in some more air. All right, let's do this right. One more coat. One more. I'm trying. I'm training myself to breathe out of my nose. I got these monster nostrils. You think it'd be efficient to do it that way. That's a fascinating phenomenon. If I mention something like having monster nostrils, then really dumb people will use that. Like, they don't even realize that they're doing that. Like, yeah, you have a big nose, dude. Like, you only say that because I told you what to say. You know what I'm saying? Am I crazy? That happens all the time. If I put a title in the video or in a description, then really, really dum-dums, that's what they do. They use that same thing that I told them about against me. God dang. Have some darn originality in life. If you're going to insult, put a little effort into it. Matt, don't even acknowledge those people. I said, but it's fun. It's fun to acknowledge. I have a strong sense of needing to be right, as you can tell. Yeah. Just ask Bryce. This must be a terrible place to work. These people must hate working there. No one's quit yet. Yet. Now everybody could be out looking for jobs, but yeah, I'm over this. I'm done with this. Ready to ride fast and jump stuff. But seriously, the Santos trails are actually pretty legit around here. For trail riding, it's not, you're not going downhill. There is no downhill. There are no hills. So you have to be okay with that. It's what I got. It's what I got to work with. That's why I bought the SB100 and not like an SB150. You know, I'm not out absorbing tons of crazy stuff. I'm already not doing a good job of mouth breathing. Nose breathe. Is that better?
Filter that removes that in post, man. Sorry.
Is that better? Like, dude, you're so out of shape. No, if I'm in shape, I breathe heavier, I think. All right, this wheel's done. I bet you added some weight, all this coating on here. I'm gonna be slow now. I added too much weight. We should coat the tires. Think that would be bad? I do have a little bit of excess on the sidewalls there, but that'll wear off real fast. Okay, let's put our final touch on this thing. Or what I want with GPS. I think I like, since I'm not going to have anything on this side, yeah, let's put it, let me get the bike off. Yeah, I mean, I'm right-handed. I think I'd want it on the right-hand side. Let's do that. Oh, shoot. Coat the bracket. Does this have any rubber? It doesn't. It's kind of odd. I feel like this Garmin thing isn't that great. Let's put it right on the rough part so it stays put. It's interesting. They give you some other mounting options, but I think like that looks pretty good.
Sit on the seat. I'll hold it so you can actually see from riding position what it's going to look like.
Yeah, I'm up here.
And it's really dim too. So.
Need to keep the aerodynamics for all the speed.
You have to be able to make that brighter, right?
It's gotta be. I gotta start playing with it. Looks terrible. I'm assuming we'd maintain GPS because there's no, the thing I like about there are no cables or anything. So I gotta sync it to my phone. I guess I'd probably sync it to my Apple Watch. I don't know. Why do I still have gloves on? No wonder I can't get anything done. All right, I think that's complete for the bike prep project. So funny. In the Corvette video, I'm joking about righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. You know, when it's backwards and you're upside down, I have to think about it. People get so... It's like a... You know, I'm telling them how to make fun. And they're still stupid enough to fall for it. And I'm stupid enough that it makes me angry when they do. So, that's the bike project. The PPF came out pretty decent for me doing most of it. Actually, Martin did about half of it. He did the big bulk pieces. It was good because it showed me how to do it. So this is the Garmin 1030. What's it called? Edge 1030 or something like that. It should be pretty sick. Lots of glare though. Get it. Power off. Cool. Let's got some old Atari sound effects on it. So there's my bike. Set up, ready to go. Again, I'm going to take the dropper post off. If you're not familiar with bikes, the dropper post allows you to get the seat out of the way when you're doing some aggressive downhill or jumps and stuff like that. I'm going to try this seat, but I doubt this is going to be the seat. And then this is how you kill yourself, kill your taint. So there's the bike. Weighs about 20, probably 28 pounds. When I take the seat off, probably 27 or so. And they were tubeless. Well, I would like to put it on the scale and see what it's weighing. But there's my Yeti SB100. Project complete. I may get like a chest gimbal and do some riding after I get a little faster, and so that way I look smart and look fast. Anyway, thanks for watching this series. As always, stay tuned for more crazy. This was a, I get this one was a little bit off the charts. Thanks for watching. So what are we gonna call this video? No more rock chips, ceramic glass coating, glass ceramic.
Glass coat of my $1 million mountain bike.
Yeah, but you gotta put the one you won't believe the results part.
I want to be like at the end of it, just you riding around the parking lot really quick.
If I want to instantly lose every single person that watches what I'm doing and is a part of it, that's how to do it. But if I want a bunch of teenagers, then that's how you go. You won't believe the results. Looks pretty much the same. That's the thing that stinks about doing this.